All right, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another one. Please don't forget to subscribe. I want to talk about the Washington Mystics Indiana Fever game. But I'm going to do something a little different because it's kind of like what I like to do. I like to look at the statistics. I like to look at the data. Sometimes I might compare the entire team versus team, and sometimes I might compare just two players who performed the best. And in this game, Sonia Citron and Caitlin Clark were the two top performers, right? The two stars showed up for this one. Now, if you listen to a lot of commentary, you will hear people trying to say that it was about even in terms of performance, right? And so I got curious. Was it really even in terms of performance? I don't think it was even in terms of performance. I think it was more so somewhat even in terms of impact on each person's team. But I don't think it was even in terms of overall performance. So let's just look at the overall performance, okay? Let's first look at Sonia Citron, all right? And I'm going to just break it down I've broken it down in a specific way. So she tried to score 42 points in the game. Out of those 42 points she attempted to score, she scored 30 points. So she scored 71.4% of the points she attempted to score. The way she did this was she attempted 10 two-pointers, 4 three-pointers, and she went to the free throw line and attempted 10 free throws. That resulted in her scoring 30 points. Okay? Now, on the other side, you have Caitlin Clark. She attempted 78 points. She attempted to score 78 points. Out of those 78 points, she successfully scored 32 points. She scored more points than Citron. But considering that she tried to score 78 points, she only scored 41% of the points she attempted to score. So the way she did it, she attempted 11 two-pointers, 17 three-pointers, and she went to the free throw line for 5 free throw attempts. Now, if you look at this comparison, clearly, Sonia Citron was the far superior player, right? Like, her efficiency is off the charts. That's the only way you can look at it. Her efficiency in this game was off the charts compared to, say, Caitlin Clark. If Sonia Citron, percentage-wise, if Sonia Citron had attempted to score 78 points, strictly based on the numbers, she would have had a 55-point game. Okay? So, she was the better player. But I know a lot of people criticized Clark and said, well, she took too many threes. I don't have a problem with what she did. The team was struggling, and, somebody had to step up, and she stepped up. And, maybe she took an excessive amount of shots, 28 shots. Personally, I don't think that's an excessive amount. She is the star on the team. That is not really an excessive amount to me. If she did that every game and scored 32 points, I think I'd be okay with that. I mean, I think I would not complain about that. Okay? In honesty, I think Citron should have tried to score more. That's what I think. I think Citron should have tried to score more. I don't think Clark should have tried to score less. But overall, Citron had the better game. Now, Clark may have did some more exciting things, like hitting those threes, but, impact-wise, I mean, the Mystics was the better team in the game. And, Caitlin Clark's attempted heroics, almost worked. I mean, they almost came back and pulled off the upset. Let's be honest, she almost helped them come back and upset the Washington Mystics. So her impact, was tremendous in that regard, but they fell short. So, I mean, the Mystics was just a better team overall. But you have to give Caitlin Clark credit for what she did. She almost did the impossible. She almost single-handedly brought the team back and upset the Mystics, which the Mystics was just, for the most part, once they took the lead, they were dominating that game. So, for them, for Clark to lead the charge back and to come back and, take the lead, and they had back and forth, kudos to her. But in terms of the statistics, from a statistical perspective, Sonia Citron was far superior to her in this game. So I just wanted to just break that down, because a lot of times people will talk about the performance in the game and they'll paint this picture, like, okay, Clark had a great game. I think she had a great game. But from a statistical perspective, when you look at how Sonia Citron did it versus how Caitlin Clark did it, you have to tip your hats off to Sonia Citron. I mean, she played a much more efficient game, much more superior game of basketball than Caitlin Clark. So, kudos to her. Congratulations, young lady. You took out Caitlin Clark. So, that's all I have to say. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you have a different perspective on this, please use the comment section. Let me know. Or if you agree with me, if you agree that Sonia Citron had the better game, let me know. If you don't think she had the better game, if you think I'm reading too much into the stats, because some people seem to think the stats don't really matter to some degree, and I think they matter. I'm a stats guy. I look at the stats too. You can see a picture, a much better picture. It's one thing to watch the game, but when you go back and you look at the stats, it gives you such a clearer picture of what actually took place. So if you disagree or you do agree, please use the comment section. Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.